Oh, here we go. The best Dogecoin miner in the world. Ordered this. Pretty apprehensive. I'm actually kind of worried, is this thing even gonna work, or especially work as well as it's supposed to? But this is the DG1 from a company I bet you've never heard of, Elphapex.
Who?
11 gigahash a second. This is better than the Bitmain Antminer L7s, which previously were the best Dogecoin miners in the world. I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Let's plug it in, and then we'll dig in deeper. We'll remote into this thing and check it out, and then I'll give you some real world mining profitability and look at the performance over this over like a week or so and see what the numbers come out to. Is it performing as it's supposed to? Or is it like a lie and this is a rebadged L7 and your boy done got scammed? Tune in next week to find out. I used to have my Antminers over there in the pod for my L7s, but I've actually since then dunked them in the immersion mining shed that we've been building. So they're actually in the Bixbit with fan spoofers still running on stock firmware. That's how serious I am personally about Doge mining. Dogecoin's here to stay, love it or hate it, and it does well every bull run in some way, shape, or form. And that's why I wasn't afraid, because I bought this, by the way. This company didn't send this to me. I spent over $6 grand on this thing. Basically, you know, $6,500 for the best Dogecoin miner in the world that you never freaking heard of. And, you know, on paper, it's a better buy than the Bitmain Antminers, but there's a lot of drawbacks, especially for me as I work on scaling out my mining farm. Like this power supply. I have a ton of these spare Antminer power supplies on hand. I mean, I've got over 6. And this, I don't have any. Could I sub in an Antminer power supply? Maybe. Probably not. But it's kind of everything you would expect from a modern industrialized ASIC miner, right? We got the big silver box. Got 2 fans on the front, 2 fans on the rear, so intake fans, exhaust fans. The attached power supply, which, as you would probably guess, is only rated for 220 voltage plus, right? Single phase, 3 phase, that doesn't matter. These things are easy to use. You plug in power, you plug in Ethernet, and they told me then you start earning passive income. Well, we'll see about that, because it's still gonna take quite a while if nothing changes to just break even on this machine. But I'm hoping and thinking we're at the beginning of the next parabolic crypto bull run. Machines like this will be fetching 10 grand plus all day if that's true. The rumors, based on direct Bitmain connections, is that the Antminer L9 is simply either not ready or simply not coming soon. Everyone is speculating, and some of the early leaks and rumors show that the Antminer L9, which is a successor to the L7, right? And I'll put this stuff on screen so you can see. The L7 previously best, L9 speculated to hash twice as powerful at the same power consumption, meaning that it would be twice as efficient. And the DG1 is better than the L7, but it's not, you know, some sort of huge generational leap. For the projected same power consumption, it's supposed to be hashing at, what, 20% faster, basically, maybe 25% faster, maybe even 30% faster if you got like the worst model L7 possible. And in their later releases, they did kind of keep releasing worse and worse and worse L7s, yet they used to be better. But I guess when you're top dog, you do whatever the hell you want because you got no competition. Although I have immersed my L7s, most of my immersion mining containers are full. And I have zero confidence or trust and faith in this DG1 ElphaPex miner thing I just got in. So I'm going to throw this in the digital shovel mini pod. I have the M300 version, and so this will be air cooled. And if there's any problems, it'll be easy to just pull it off the shelf and try to send it back and see if there's any, you know, hope or possibility for warranty support on this miner. That's one of the big risks you take when you start dunking stuff, especially if you dunk it real quick. I mean, you send it back soaked in immersion fluid, you avoided your warranty, buddy. A lot of risk, moderate rewards on that front. Remember that Doge is the script mining algorithm, original meme coin. It is merge mined with Litecoin. The fun fact, and it's funny, some people are newer to crypto, they don't know this stuff, but like Dogecoin used to be a joke and you got some Doge while you were mining Litecoin. It was all about mining Litecoin, and they were Litecoin miners. But nobody talks or thinks about them like that anymore, because Litecoin is putting out around like $300,000 of newly mined coins per day. It would be a small conversation if it was just Litecoin. But Dogecoin has been putting out over $2 million a day since it pumped. So you combine those and you have $2.5 million of a mining ecosystem for these SCRYPT ASIC miners. Because miners technically only mine a mining algorithm, right? So this mines SCRYPT mining algorithm. This mines the Cadena mining algorithm, which I believe is Blake 2S. The point here being is that Doge is actually the second most profitable coin to mine in the world, second only to Bitcoin. But Kaspa's not too happy about that, and they've been trading spots a little bit over the last year. But at the moment of recording this, Doge has a pretty commanding lead. So enough chit chat. Let's throw this thing on the shelf and hope it works, and then start a passive income. Today's video is sponsored by ECOS, E-C-O-S, and they offer cloud mining contracts. If you don't want to set up miners yourself, well, you can rent a miner through them. They boast having nearly 100% uptime, space for 20,000 ASIC miners, and 60 megawatts of affordable power at their fingertips in Armenia. Learn more with the link out in the video description below. The hard drive mining shed doubles as a field office. I mean, it's air conditioned, it's incredible in here. And it smells good. This cedar has such a unique smell. But here's a quick glance into the dashboard. It's kind of like other miners, but uglier. But that's okay. It's been up for 9 minutes. It was pretty slow to get started. Kept saying that it was the hashboard was underheated. Real-time hash rate not matching the 11 gigahash a second, which is 11,000 megahash a second, because they're in thousands of each other. What's kind of intriguing is this is a pretty hefty miner. So this seems to have 4 hash boards. I haven't cracked this thing open or anything. Another thing I thought that was interesting here in the log is the reference to August 5th. So if these been around that long and we are just now, in the public sector finding out about these. Ooh, there we go. I like to see 11. Looking good, DG1. But this is just the initial, get it working, is this working in the field stuff. So that's good, right? Initial worry of like, will this even work? I plugged it in, I ran for the door. I'm like, this thing gonna blow up? I don't know. But why would you want to blow up your customers? I'm still kind of like, if you told me 2 months ago, hey boss, you're about to drop $6.5 grand on a new Dogecoin miner that is better but not blows the L7 out of the water, I'd say no, I'm not. No, I'm not. But that's how quickly the market and everything has changed, and it's just, you got to keep up with it. Like, things change, sentiments change. All of our metrics are flipping bullish. But yeah, I'll gather some more data and you'll see me soon, like right now. The DG1 is not going as well as I would have hoped. So let's just dig right into it, right? So we see that it's boasting a real-time hash rate from the miner dashboard. That's correct. The average total hash rate is down from its real-time hash rate by 300. That number is notable because we're missing 300 of our hash right here on that fourth hash board. You'll also notice a 4% pool rejection rate. So if I'm losing like 3% of my mining profitability to a mining pool, and then I'm also having 4% of my shares rejected, I am losing a huge percentage of my potential mining profitability. So F2 pool continues to just not be a good mining pool for me in recent testing with numerous miners, especially kind of like off-brand miners. Like you get outside of Bitmain AMP miners, and I've been having a lot of bad times with this mining pool. So I'm like, let me see if it works with NiceHash. Unreachable. right? And this is the exact same configuration I use for my Bitmain Antminer L7 that does work on NiceHash. And NiceHash has been a profitable mining pool for Scrypt miners for numerous reasons. So I'm like, okay, let me punch in DX pool. And for whatever reason, I haven't really dug into why this happened, but DX pool in slot 0 and 1, which is essentially 1 and 2, says standby and then also unreachable. And then it went back to F2 pool and I was getting a 26% pool rejection rate. Weird. We look at the 24-hour hash rate on F2 pool, and F2 pool is saying, hey man, you're doing about 10.11 gigahash a second. At this performance and this price, this miner is not really better or more interesting than an Antminer L7 for mining Scrypt, right? Mining Dogecoins and Litecoins. There's a noticeable drop off in the last 24 hours of my mining performance, right? The miner seemed to have gone down or a pool connection error, but the uptime in the miner dashboard would kind of say that this is some sort of connection or mining pool error, or software, somewhere between the device, not some power cycling thing. But the point here, right, is prior to this, we were seeing 11 gigahash a second. And then what happened? Tried to bounce back. And then for the next several hours, the performance has been very poor, almost as if it's missing a hash board. So I have flipped it over to Ant Pool, which isn't my first choice on a mining pool, and it's just now coming online there. What we can see here in the dashboard is so far we have a 0% pool rejection rate. And for whatever reason now we're getting unreachable on F2 pool, even though that should say standby. So I'm gonna go ahead and match the passwords. I don't know if X password is some kind of issue, because previously I had password as X. Passwords in miners in this era should never really matter. As I work through all this troubleshooting drama, I'll just go ahead and restart this now or reboot it, since the miner just, restarted the software yet again. So this will give us a fresh miner running time here. I will also note that this has an uptime of a little bit over a day, and I did not restart this about a day ago. This miner rebooted for whatever reason, and just to show you some other miners on my mining farm, this has almost 3 days of uptime and I rebooted it then. I was messing with these KA3 miners the same time that I had installed the DG1. What makes everything even weirder in all of this testing is the DG1 was showing active earlier when I was setting this video up on DX pool, even though when I tried to make DX pool the primary pool, it didn't work. And it also mined about 50 Dogecoins there yesterday. And it's just all kind of confusing. The average hash rate per day yesterday on F2 pool is way off. I just don't get it. But 2 days ago, I did get nearly 11 gigahash a second. So again, mining pool issue error or miner error or an issue with these working in tandem. Let's see what the mining profitability looks like for the day where we have pretty accurate results. Being down 4% today is a bit of a buzzkill, but we're looking long term here. So we mined $3.17 with this miner. But remember, we're merge mining Dogecoin here at the exact same time. So how much Dogecoin did we mine? We scroll down here and we mined 134 Doge, which doesn't sound like much, but remember, Dogecoin is the 11th biggest cryptocurrency right now / still. 134 Dogecoin is nearly $20. It's over $19 at current prices, and still down 80% from its all-time high. I got big hopes. I got big hopes for this dog. So $19 plus $3 and about 50 cents. So we are at $22.50 on this. This is a miner that's costing me about $8 a day to run or so at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So we take $8 off of that, about $14, $15 in mining profitability. And you take that number and break it out over the next year, and I will be working towards breaking even after my electricity bill if nothing else changed. And this is the mining performance that I continue to get here. Remember, Dogecoin is the second biggest cryptocurrency when ranked by CoinMarketCap, and these metrics are hurt even a good bit from when I ordered this, right? Because Dogecoin's down 20% in the last week, but it's up significantly in the last month or so. So let's not, get too zoomed in and forget that. If we look at Litecoin, because remember we're mining both, that's down 12%. So that's a big hit on my mining profitability. When we're looking at this from a USD point of view, I'm more interested in mining coins. But I cannot ignore USD mining valuations, especially as I get a dollarized electricity bill in my mailbox every month. Actually, a couple of them, and they really hurt. Another thing I noticed, right, because I've been shooting this video and it's been at least 5 minutes since I rebooted this miner, and I noticed that this miner is very slow to start mining. And again, I think that's kind of what happens when you get into this off-brand miner stuff. It's not as polished as you may be used to on some of these more major brands. Who is ElphaPex? Where did they come from? I still haven't gotten answers or clarity. Straight up Bitmain branding style right here. They have one miner, again, out of nowhere, really no information. That's it. I shot them a message on Telegram. They replied, but didn't really say anything else. I shot them an email, never got a reply. When we open up their Twitter account, Brave pisses me off and never loads it. So I'll B-roll it here on screen. Yeah, so the other thing you may be thinking is, oh, well, do you have the latest firmware? Would that solve some of your issues? So DG1 software version 1, and this has a date here of March 7th, so pretty recent. And we look at my software version of DG1 SWV1. By file name, this is the latest release. And that would only make sense. It's a new miner, just came out. It should definitely have the latest firmware, but it wouldn't be uncommon for a quick patch after release for something like this. But yeah, nothing that we've seen here. This miner is quickly gaining some validity as many of the resellers are picking it up. Like ASIC Marketplace, who's been a sponsor of the VoskCoin YouTube channel, their prices are rapidly changing, so click our link out in the video description below. There's also Coin Mining Central, who has listed this, who we've got a coupon code with there, code VoskCoin. Crypto Miner Bros has listed this as well, so I'll link all those options down in the video description below. But it was actually T-Swift that brought this miner to my attention, and I bought this miner for $6,500 through him. The price has gone up since then, but if you ever buy any miners through him and you mention VoskCoin, he says he will give our community the best deal that he absolutely can. The mining profitability on the DG1 has picked up like crazy because Doge has started to rip even higher. So just based off the Dogecoin I mined in the last 24 hours, it pulled in over $31. Then you add the Litecoin on top of that, it's over $35 of mining profitability, really like 36 in the last 24 hours. You take the electric bill out of that equation, which means I'm pocketing, right, about $36 of coin for about $8 a day. So that's about 28 after my electricity bill is paid. And yeah, I still need to pay off the miner, but things are looking much better already. Overall, honestly, I'm disappointed with this miner, but ordering something that just come out of nowhere that you don't really believe in or trust, I'm happy that I've gotten the miner. I'm happy that the miner actually works. I'm happy that the miner has been working, relatively over the last couple of days. It's not a well-oiled machine, it seems, in my initial testing here, but it's working, right? And no matter what, I need this thing to get back to break even before it breaks. Right? That's always the goal, the dream. I approach some things a bit more conservative these days of like, I don't really care about what happens as long as I can at least break even, right? At least I can wash out of this, not in the negative here and the negative over there and the negative everywhere. Obviously, I want this to be a lucrative investment. Obviously, I want this to be a lucrative endeavor. I bought this miner because I have been wanting to expand my Dogecoin mining hash rate. I've been kind of iffy on the L7s. Apparently, the L9s are not coming anytime soon. You see this pop up, and the price and the performance kind of makes sense. Doge is pumping. Granted, it did a little bit of a dumpski last week. But between wanting to make fresh content for the VoskCoin YouTube channel and always being the guinea pig for better and worse, in tandem with wanting to expand my script mining hash rate on the mining farm, this made sense for me. So it's working. I'm happy enough. But I really don't see why you would buy this over an L7 at its current performance. I would rather buy a Bitmain Antminer L7 because I know you can get better warranty support if you need it. It's easier to source new control boards, power supplies. I actually personally keep spare hash boards and power supplies for my Antminers on the mining farm. So that's something I could fix nearly, very quickly, instead of having to figure out what is this, where can I source it, is there some sort of replacement. Definitely a big bonus depending on where you're at in your mining journey. So hey, I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. We run 10 seconds of tails in every video because she's our CDO, our Chief Dogecoin Officer. And I hope you subscribe. Things are getting a little crazy. I'm getting a little crazier. And so fun times. Stick to the bear market, and the bull is always a exciting, stressful, and hopefully rewarding time. So I'll see you later.